Welcome to Stuff and Whiskey. I'm Josh.
And I'm Erin.
And we just did a totally blind head-to-head between these two products from the Barton 1792 distillery. One is from the distillery in their 1792 bottled in bond. The other is sourced out, and it's Sam Houston 14 year. This one right here is 3 times the price of this one. And that comes with the territory of source whiskey. It tends to carry a heavier price tag. But does it separate itself in a completely blind tasting when we don't know either of these are in our glasses?
Welcome to the channel, bringing a real-world perspective to the real-world whiskey consumer.
We're not professional whiskey tasters, but what we will do is randomly select one of these pairs from our blind sample pool.
Is that what we're going to do?
A portion of our blind sample pool. And if you like these types of videos, we do these every single week. Every Thursday, we're coming out with a new double blind head-to-head so that you can get our completely honest opinions. It's almost like a 2-for-1 BOGO whiskey review.
Love a good BOGO.
So you get that. And what you're going to do is you're going to see us taste these, talk through them from our first impressions all the way through to a final score for each pour. And that's all based on the things that are important to us in whiskey, which is the taste, the price and the availability, and whether we'd buy it again or not.
Yep.
So we've got 18 pairs out here. Let's randomly select which one we are going with today.
Number 6.
6 pairs. So 9
1,
in the
2,
front
3,
row.
4, 5, 6. These
There we
guys,
go.
right? Here.
We'll get this cleaned up, get those poured, and be right back with our first impressions on glass 1. Let's get into glass 1. Cheers. Just sugary apple sweetness right there. Classic bourbon nose.
Yeah, I don't have much else to add to that.
Yeah, it's not really jumping out of the glass. It just smells like bourbon.
Yeah, it just smells like bourbon
Smells good.
and alcohol.
Smells good. Let's get into the taste.
Tastes like a popsicle stick of a cherry popsicle after you've already eaten the popsicle. And there's a little bit of that artificial cherry flavor left.
I can get that.
That's what it
Yeah,
tastes like.
I can absolutely get that. There's a little bit of the woodiness there from the oak, but it's not strong. It's very pleasant. It's good. Like, it's a good, solid, easy sipping pour to me. There is a little bit more there on the palate compared to what the nose was giving me. Like, there was a little bit more flavor there than I was expecting.
Yeah.
Because the nose was a little faint.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still good, easy sipping, good flavor. I'm happy with glass 1.
Yeah.
Let's get into glass 2.
All right. This smells a little deeper.
Yeah, I'm not getting as much on the nose of glass 2.
It smells similar, but deeper to me.
Yeah, I just had to really get my nose in there,
Yeah.
but you're dead right, yeah. The episode where Erin's right, aka every episode we film.
I mean, come on.
Let's get into the palate on glass 2.
It has less of a popsicle stick flavor.
Wow, there's like a really deep note there. Proof-wise, it drinks about the same. It's still fairly easy, but there is more gravity to that one. One more sip on glass 2.
I don't know what it is.
It's like a deep, deep fruity note. Like a dark
grape
fruit.
almost.
Almost,
Like
yeah. But dark. Like
a
deep and
really
heavy and rich.
melancholy grape.
Sad grapes.
Really dark
Bad-
and emo. An emo grape.
Bad band name. Sad Grapes.
an
That's
emo
not a
grape.
good name. But yeah, this is, comparatively speaking, glass 1 was much more fruity bright, at least on first blush.
Yeah.
Glass 2 is deeper, but they both are still fairly easy sipping. But they got some good flavor. Like
good
kind
flavor.
of that. They seem like they're in that bottled in bond 100 proof range. It'll be interesting to see if that's what they are. But we're gonna spend some time with these, give them their just dues, and we'll be back with what we really think about the full tasting experience right after this. After spending some time with these, what are you thinking? How you feeling? Let's start with glass 1.
All right. So for me, glass 1 gets a thumbs up on the nose, thumbs up on flavor, and thumbs up on experience. Overall, solid thumbs up. I liked it.
Good solid pour.
Yep. What about
For
you?
me, glass 1 got a thumbs up on the nose, thumbs up on the flavors, thumbs up on the experience. Like I said, good solid pour.
Yep.
And that, you nailed it with that cherry popsicle note, the popsicle stick.
Yeah.
With like that cherry lingering flavor. I put it kind of tastes like an off-brand cherry cola too. Like, it's not cherry Coke. It's not even like cherry Coke Zero. It's like whatever, like cherry carnival Dr. Thunder type drink.
What is it? Cheerwine? Cheerwine?
No, Cheerwine's better than this.
Oh, okay.
Like this is not that flavor. That's more of a concentrated soda flavor. This isn't that. It's kind of like that flat cola taste.
Gotcha.
It's good.
Yeah.
Let's get into glass 2. Where are you at?
Same thing. Thumbs up on nose, thumbs up on flavor, thumbs up on experience. Glass 2 was the one that had like the emo grape situation going on. I was there for it. Yeah, and I would think both of these are easy to sip, but lots of flavor.
They're not so easy that they're boring.
They're complex. They're not boring. Yeah.
I don't know if I'd say they're complex, but there's just enough. They're somewhat interesting.
They're not boring.
They're somewhat interesting.
Yeah.
There's enough going on that they're not completely boring, like a really easy sipper.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
What about you for glass 2?
For me, again, thumbs up on the nose, thumbs up on the flavors, thumbs up on the experience. You said emo grape. When I spent some time with it, it just that artificial grape candy flavor came through. And I couldn't place quite what it was. It wasn't quite sweet enough to be a sweet tart, like a grape sweet tart, a chewy sweet tart, I'm thinking. It's not that sugary sweet, but it's something that's less sweet than that, but still that artificial grape flavor.
Like Dimetapp.
No,
Grape
it's not
flavored
medicinal.
Dimetapp.
No, it's not medicinal at all.
I beg to differ.
But it's just, they both kind of had this pleasant lingering oak on the back end. Not overly complex. I wouldn't imagine they're too old, but they're both very good.
Yeah.
Like my baseline, we figured out, like my baseline for these is we spent money on these bottles. So I want to be able to give it a thumbs up across the board. If there's a category that's subpar or even offensive, then it's just okay or thumbs down. If it's something that's really jumping out and exceptional, then it's a 2 thumbs up category. These were firmly in the very happy that we have these.
Yes.
And I even put initial marks next to our consumer thing that I would like to buy both of these again, pending availability and pricing. We'll get into that.
Okay.
But yeah, these are both great. It's just more of like cherry versus grape candy.
Yeah.
Which one do you want in your bourbon? All right, we're going to find out price first, react to that, and then we'll find out what we've been drinking and react to that. That way you can see if we really think they're worth what they cost. So we didn't say, this is a flip of the coin. There's really not a preference here.
Oh, yeah. I can drink either one on any day. Like, I don't have a preference, I don't think.
Yeah. So glass 1 is number 40.
Okay.
And glass 2 is number 41.
So 1 is 40?
Glass 1 is 40.
$120.
You're kidding me.
No.
Okay, that's a game changer to this whole equation. What's glass 2?
$40. $40. Yeah.
Well, I mean, then I kind of put an initial mark by, like, if you force me to pick another pour right now, I would pick glass 2. That's astounding. Okay, hit the button. What are they?
So glass 1.
Number 40.
Sam Houston 14 year. And glass 2 is 1792 bottled in bond.
Oh, take our channel credentials away, okay? We told you we weren't whiskey tasting pros.
I mean, but we taste what we taste.
Yeah, it's funny that popsicle...
This is why we do it blind. Because
Yeah.
we don't know what we're supposed to taste.
Well, these are both Barton 1792.
Okay.
I just went on a barrel pick at 1792.
Yeah.
With a local store, typically banana heavy. And 1792 bottle and bond, I typically do get a lot of that banana Laffy Taffy.
No, now that you know what it is, do you get banana?
I can get it on glass too.
Of course, you cannot.
Oh, now it's jumping out of the glass.
You cannot.
That's what happens.
Fake news. Don't believe him.
It is deeper. It is more grapey. And on this Sam Houston, I've gotten like a bubblegum cotton candy nose, non-blind.
This is why we do it blind, because
This is why we do it blind.
you don't know what you're supposed to taste. You just actually taste what you taste.
Yeah.
And not what people tell you you should.
So it's funny, like that popsicle stick, that lingering oak. I think it's somewhere in this video I've already said I didn't think these were that old.
Mm-hmm.
But like not on the young side either necessarily. Just like a good solid range, like kind of that, 8-ish years or so.
Yeah.
So for this to be 14 years, it's not over oaked. That's nice.
Mm-mm.
But it isn't. Oh man, this is like a very interesting comparison. The whole reason this is in here, I put this in here. The whole reason it's in here is because they're both from the Barton 1792 distillery.
Mm-hmm.
One's $120. It's sourced out to Sam Houston, and they up the price. It's 98 proof, and then 1792 bottle and bond is 100 proof whiskey, so very close in proof points. Glass 1, Sam Houston, is triple the price, and it's a
Yes.
limited release item, and every batch is a little different.
Okay.
But this is a pour that when people come over to the house, it's such a limited release item. Like there's 512 barrels of this bottle that we have. It's just something that people haven't tried before. And especially if they don't tend to like higher proof, this is something that I pour for guests. Because the price point, we don't just sit around and enjoy $120 whiskey by ourselves very much.
Right.
It's something more that we have and share with guests. But man, 1792 Bottle and Bond is holding its own.
Yeah.
This is, I think, a once a year release now.
1792.
The bottled and bond, I think it is.
Okay.
It comes out in big waves, but it is a once a year release.
Okay.
So availability, as far as our retail and consumer metrics,
Yep.
our retail metric for this, which is the retail side of the equation, the price and the availability, price is $120.
Yep.
Availability is, there's Sam Houston 15 is out now. It's a limited release batch, but they do come out and they do sit on shelves. You can find them.
Okay.
It's not atrocious, but it's not great either.
Okay.
1792 Bottled and Bond. It's better, but not a lot better, and it's $40. So
Okay.
let's talk about our retail and consumer metrics here. Let's start with retail and consumer on Glass 1.
Okay.
For $120 and a very limited release, where are you at on Glass 1?
Unfortunately, I gave it a thumbs down on retail because the price and the limited availability. And I gave it a thumbs down on consumer score because I wouldn't buy it again because of the price and the limited availability. While I like the flavor and I liked all the things, the taste, all that, the price and the availability or lack thereof really knocks it down a few pegs for me.
Yeah, and
about you?
that stuff matters to us.
Yeah.
So that's why it's part of our scoring rubric.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm very close to the same. I gave it a thumbs down on retail score because that's a lot of money for a glass of whiskey, a bottle of whiskey. That's a whole lot of money for a glass of whiskey,
yeah.
but for a bottle of whiskey, that's still a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like there's so much good stuff in like that $40 to $80 range that it's really difficult for me to want to spend much more than about 80 or 90 bucks. You start getting into 3 digits, you got to be something special. So thumbs down on retail score. Consumer score, I put just okay.
Okay.
Once we run out of this bottle and then the next Sam Houston batch comes out, I'm probably going to grab it. I've even thought about getting the batch that's out now, Sam Houston 15, but I could buy 2 or 3 other bottles.
Right.
If not 4 other bottles with that amount of money.
That's the thing. It's like if there's other stuff that's
Yeah.
as good
Yeah.
for less money, like
So it's just okay for me.
yeah.
Let's get into Glass 2, 1792 Bottle and Bond. Where are you at on retail and consumer?
For
$40, annual release, but you can find it as long as you're looking. It's actually going to come out right about now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I gave it just okay on a retail score because the price is good, but the limited availability, not really doing it any favors. And then also just okay on consumer score. I would buy it again, but I'm not going to go out of my way.
Yeah.
The price is good, so that helps it. So yeah, just okay.
Yeah.
What about you?
For me, it gets a just okay. If it were available all the time, it would definitely get a thumbs up. $40 for that. If I could just go buy it on the shelf all the time, that would have been a thumbs up, but that's not the case. So just okay.
Yep.
As far as consumer score, whether I'd buy it again or not, thumbs up. We're pretty low on this bottle, as you've probably seen during our B-roll. When I see another one pop up about this time of year, I'll grab another one to have around. It's not something I reach for often just because it's not readily available.
Yeah.
But this is such an interesting matchup.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole reason we put this in here was because they're the same distillery, and I wanted to see if the Sam Houston 14-year, triple the price product really separate itself head and shoulders when we're tasting totally blind. We don't know we're drinking either one of these.
Well,
does it really separate itself?
I feel like we figured out that it doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good, but it's not
Yeah.
noticeably way better.
Right. Very interesting. All right, let's get into our real world scores. This is going to be an interesting one.
Yeah. We get our real world score by adding up the thumbs you see on the screen.
Our scoring system is a 10-point scoring system, but it's more about a bell curve than like your typical 10-point system. So by adding up the thumbs you see on the screen, when we're tasting totally blind, we don't know whether we're supposed to like these or not. We don't know if a $120 bottle is supposed to stand out that much more than a $40 bottle.
Nope.
And so when we're tasting them totally blind, just like we did, most things tend to fall in that 4 to 6 point midpoint range. And you've really got to be exceptional to separate yourself from that. So when you're looking at our scores and you're adding up these thumbs and you're hearing stuff that's not a 7 or an 8 point something, just know that that doesn't mean that it's bad. If it's in that 4 to 6 point range, it's pretty good.
Yep.
And the further away you get from that, the more or less exceptional it is to us. So let's go. Real world score for glass 1. Sam Houston, 14 year.
Well, it's going to sound bad, but it's not that bad. It's a 3 out of 10.
Yep.
So it's just slightly on outside of the lower end of the middle.
Yep. And mine's a 3.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
And for both of us, it's a good solid pour, we said, but it's severely hampered by its availability and probably even more than that, the high price tag.
The high price tag.
Yeah, because we're cheapskates. So let's get in the glass 2.
Well, and also there's other stuff that's just as good for less.
Right.
But anyway.
We could buy 2 bottles of Rare Breed for this.
Yeah.
We could buy 2 bottles of New Riff for this.
Yeah.
Let's get into glass 2.
Glass
40
2.
bucks. Sorry, we've already talked about the price. Real world score. That's what we're doing right now. Where are you at on glass 2?
So glass 2 gets
$17.92 bottled and bond.
It's a 4 out of 10 for me. Yep. So on the lower end, but still on that midpoint range.
Yep.
Of solidness.
4.5 out of 10 for me. Yep. And again, right in that midpoint range. A little high. I'm a half a point higher than you on both of these.
Yeah.
And I like them quite a lot.
Yeah.
I do tend to like Barton stuff for as far as just sipping, easy sipping without being boring.
Yeah.
I tend to really like 1792 Barton stuff, so this all checks out perfectly for me. And if this weren't an annual release, it would have scored even a little bit higher for me. But the fact that they've limited the production of it hampers it a little bit. I think these are for anybody who is interested in, like we've said a couple times now, a nice, easy sipping experience without it being too boring.
Yeah,
these
I agree.
Aren't necessarily going to be your best beginner bourbon pours. Like if you're just a newbie to whiskey, you don't want to go right into this sphere right here. But if you've been trying some stuff in that like 90 proof range and you're interested in going up a little bit higher in proof and maybe a little bit more complexity than like your Eagle Rare and your Buffalo Trace and your Elijah Craig Small Batch, and you want to go a little bit more, check these out.
I agree.
And if you want something that is special and limited and rare that maybe your friends haven't tried and you're going to have people over and you do want to impress them with a $120 bottle, the Sam Houston packaging and presentation is quite exceptional.
It is nice. And it's a good whiskey. Like
it's really good.
It is good.
Yeah. And honestly, outside of a blind format, it has impressed me more because of all of that stuff.
Yeah.
It's just we do it this way because you get our honest opinions.
Yep.
And if you like that and you want to get involved in supporting the channel, joining our community, talking about things, then you can check the video link below for our Patreon. It's down there. That's where we're at. We're not on social media. We're over there just because we like to keep it positive, and that's what we're fostering in our community over on Patreon.
Absolutely.
We also post reviews. Like I said, we just posted a 1792 Bottled and Bond versus Cooper's Craft review. You can also
cool.
It is. You can also see the video description below for our upcoming live stream. Those are a ton of fun. It's like a virtual happy hour on the back end, but on the front end, we try to front load it with some type of flight or theme, something we're tasting.
Discussion of some kind. Yeah.
Just have a good time. So
Those
check all that out down there in the video description.
Also, if you haven't already, hit that thumbs up button. Like this video. Give us a thumbs up. You can't give us 2. Just give us 1. That's cool. And also leave some comments below. Let us know what you think.
Till next week, guys.
Cheers. It's hard for me to say tonight.
Yeah.
A real world perspective.
I have trouble speaking sometimes too.
Words are hard.
It's amazing that we have a channel. I have a wild and wily hair right here. Can I pull it out? It's like crinkly.
Ow!
Oh boy.
Ow! Don't ever do that. Even if I say yes, don't ever pull out my hair.
Look how crinkly that thing is.
I can't even see it.
It's like.
Probably because it's about to turn gray.
Getting old is grand, ain't it?
I hate it. It stinks so much.
I guess these are our bloopers for this video.
Probably.
I'm sorry I hurt you.
It's okay. You did hurt me though. That hurt really bad. It's okay. Am I bleeding?